Hello everyone. Welcome to JL Academy Core Java Training. So in last session we have seen part 4. As part of part 4 we have discussed switch statement. So in this part 5 we will discuss about the Java loops. So what is a loop? It is a Java loops, mainly they are used to iterate a block of statements several times. Suppose you have a statement which you wanted to iterate or run that statement four times or five times based on the requirement. In that case, you can use loops. There are three ways with which we can achieve the loops. One is for loop, second one is while loop, third one is do while loop. The first one, for loop, this will be used when it is used to iterate a part of the program several times. If the number of iteration is fixed, it is recommended to use for loop. Suppose if I want to run my program five times, if that number is fixed, then better I use for loop. That is, in that case, we will use for loop. Coming to while loop, here it is used when the number of iteration is not fixed, or it will check for a specific condition. While loop and do while, okay, it will check for a condition but not the number of times. So in that case you can use while loop and do while loop. So we will see with an example so that you will understand. Okay, now in this part, like, we will continue. First we will start with the for loop. So how do we create a for loop? This is the syntax. For loop, keyword for, we have to use in bracket, we have to initialize it, and we have to provide the condition and the increment or decrement, followed by the block of statements we have to execute. So for statement, it needs initialization, condition, increment or decrement. So when we initialize it, what will happen? First, when we initialize it, then it will check for a condition. If condition is satisfied, then the statement given in the for loop will be executed. Okay, and after that increment or decrement will happen until the condition become false. Okay, so in this way this loop continues till the condition becomes false. Okay, so now my requirement is I have to print numbers. Okay, my requirement is print numbers from 1 to 10. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like this, I have to print the numbers. So I'm doing printing the each number, right? So what I have to do, I have to repeat the same for other numbers also. So in this case, we can use for loop. Okay. So what is the first syntax? For loop followed by the initialization, condition and increment or decrement. So for initialization, what I have to do? How do I initialize it? I initialize it using a variable. Here I have to print numbers, right? So I'll initialize with the data type int. Integer I equal to 0. Okay, or I want to start with the 1, right? So that is the reason I will initialize it 1. I equal to 1. I is, here I'll write a condition where I will check I should be printed from 1 to 10, right? So I have to check I is lesser than or equal to 10. In that case, I have to print. This condition basically checks whether the given number is lesser than 10 or equal to 10, lesser than or equal to 10 or not. Then I have to do increment by each value. So I have to use I plus plus. In this way, I can write for loop. So here the first one is a initialization, second one is condition, third one is printing the incrementing the value. So here let me write a statement which I need to execute. So what will happen here when First time it will be initialized with the 1, then it will print the, it will check the condition. Okay, here's in this diagram, first it will initialization followed by the condition. Here condition is satisfied, then it will go to the block, if for loop block, then that statement will be executed, then increment or decrement. If you take in this case initialized with the 1, here 1 is lesser than 10, that means condition is satisfied, then it will go to this loop and this particular statement will be executed, then it will increment the value. So this particular loop continues till this condition is satisfied. When I becomes 11, then this condition is not satisfied, then it will come out of the loop, for loop. Okay, let me run this. So yeah, if you see here, it started with the 1 because we have initialized with the 1, right? That is the reason. After that, that it was checking for the condition. If you take all the values are lesser than or equal to 10, condition is satisfied. That is the reason. As per our statement, it has printed all the values. Okay. And for incrementing the value, we have used I plus plus. So in this way, we can write a for loop statement. Okay. Yeah, that's all for today. We will continue with the while loop and do while loop in the next part. Thank you.